We're here today with Kamal Razak from MHI Media.
Yo, how we doing? How we doing?
It's good to have Kamal here. I met Kamal about, I would say, a year and a half ago, or a little longer, maybe almost 2 years ago now. Yeah, about almost 2 years ago. Kamal, do you remember how we connected the first time?
Twitter. I sent you a Twitter DM, I think.
He DM'd me.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, this is what I'm going to tell you. If you're watching this at home, you probably have no idea that there's so much opportunity in the world. And one of the reasons there's so much opportunity in the world, I saw this tweet. I'm going to ask you if you saw it. About 2 years ago, a guy tweeted and put it on LinkedIn as well that somebody had cold emailed him, and he replied back to the cold email and said, "I'm going to make it my business to destroy your business." And I read it at the time, and I was like, "Man, you're just an asshole, bro."
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. You're an idiot, bro.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it after a little while because this guy had a fairly big company. He's in the tech space. Did you see that?
I think
tweet
I
by
saw a
chance?
similar thing, yeah.
So here's what I'm going to say. He connected with me through a DM. My wife's company and her partner's company has spent probably $5 million on his ads, maybe even more. I got to check, to be honest, but it's probably $5 million. That has driven so much revenues to her company, and it came off of a DM that I answered. If I acted like that fool who was going to go after people to destroy their lives, guess what would happen? My wife's brand would be much lesser down the road than it needs to be. So here's the point of this, is that there's so much opportunity out there because there are people like that guy in his position with massive revenues, and he's making such foolish waste of his resources that he's actually going to go out of his way and say to somebody, "I'm going to destroy your business for contacting me." So I want to talk to Kamal about what is the process that he has for delivering ads that bring so much, it's just ridiculous. Like, I can think last year this time, is it 2/3? On 2/2, Kamal delivered an ad, and my ad account was kind of a little bit rough around the edges. And he had been in the account for a while, and they had some ads in there, but I was scaling hard. I'm like pushing hard. And whenever you push hard, you run through creative. And on 2/2, they dropped an ad in. And do you remember that ad?
Yeah, the car ad, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And the thing is, well, basically, when we work with fashion brands, and I say most marketing agencies struggle with fashion brands, you probably have dealt with this before, is like they don't understand how to apply direct response principles to fashion brands. And the hard part about that is, like, firstly, it's different, and the way you talk and the emotions you're targeting are very different than problem solution brands. And then secondly, you have to get it through the brand team, and that's just the most impossible thing. So you have to be able to make content which the brand team like, and it's direct response. It's kind of like, it's like a Trojan horse almost, you know what I mean?
It's kind of
But
like
Johnny helps out with that a lot.
It's kind of like being a mountain goat walking on the top of the ridge. You're like this, stepping on the top of the ridge, because you go either way, you're done.
Yeah.
If you don't get it direct enough, it doesn't sell. And if you can't get it past the brand people, you're down the side of the hill.
Yeah, 100%. So when we made that car ad, like, it's one of the cool techniques we always use is, like, you want to be in a situation which is a relatively ugly situation, aka like in a car, but then make sure that everything going on is like kind of pretty, which is like, so the person was pretty, they had big glasses on, which is just a cool technique, and then the clothes look good, right? But then the environment isn't like a studio shot or a nice environment where people feel like instantly turn into an ad. So it's like ugliness, well, it's not actually ugly, but the ugliness, and then the prettiness of a product. So the product always has to be pretty.
What is the most amount of money an ad you have made has spent on Facebook ads?
5 to 10 mil, maybe more.
One ad.
Just one ad or variations of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But like with iterations of it, I guess. But one singular ad, probably like 2-3 mil, yeah.
Sick. Well, I definitely have some ads in the account that are he's made that spent $1 million. How many ads do you make? If you made 100 ads, how many ads would be complete trash and wouldn't perform at all?
I rarely track that. And it's like, it's the hit rate argument, right?
Hit rate.
So I completely disagree with hit rate as a metric for a bunch of reasons. And I know there's lots of smart people who actually like hit rate, so maybe I'm wrong. But basically, hit rate is silly to me because it's binary, right? Because you either win or you lose. But we both know that, like, an ad which spends 10K could be a winner, right? But it's definitely like not comparable to an ad which spends $1 million. So firstly, that's why I believe it's a bad metric. And secondly, if I can make 1,000 ads and the other person can make 10 ads, right? Their hit rate can be 100% and my hit rate can be 10%, and I still make more winners if that was a metric. But so the actual metric I think you should track is simply just spend, but it tracks quantity and it tracks quality as well.
Yeah, for me, I want 1,000 ads. I push a lot of ads through. I know some people feel differently. I have a friend, for instance, I had a conversation with him recently, and he was like, I made 30 ads. My brand hit $9 million in sales. He made 30 ads literally, and he's hit $9 million in sales.
You can do it, like 100%. Someone asked me the other day, or in a group I'm in, and they were just like, I see these people tweeting about one ad just making their business like grow 3x. And like, I've never seen that before. Like, they're definitely lying, right? And then it's just like, I've made so many of those ads. Like, you can literally, I made an ad the other day, which took a brand from 1K a day to 15K a day in 2 days, right? So literally like 15x in 2 days. But quality has to be there before you start making quantity.
We're up about 300%, I would say, since we started working with MHI.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty linear, trip. It's not like, hey, I'm going to go from point A to point B and I'm going to just get there. It's, you're rolling down the hill, you're fighting your way up the hill, it's just nonstop, like iterations change, make more static ads, make more video ads. If in the process, what is the worst thing a brand can do in the relationship with you?
The worst thing is like, and even internally, this is a bad thing to do, right? Usually the idea behind a creative has to come from some person and they have to finish that idea, right? So any changes along the way will kind of ruin that idea, right? So the worst thing is like multiple rounds of iteration on a creative. Just by the end of it, even if you're happy with it, it's just different to what the idea was in the first place, and the whole creative process is wrong. One thing which I think is cool, obviously it has to get past the brand team, but if you want a change in an ad, like you think it should be better a different way, run the first version and then also make the change. Because then you get 2 ads.
2 ads.
And then one of them might be better, one of them might be worse. So you just double your creative. Even internally, every time I want to change an ad, I'm like, run that ad in the ad account and then remake it like this for me. So now I've got 2 ads.
Have you written any books?
No, I haven't written any book.
Have you heard of the idea of the DTC Growth Summit #1 as a book?
No, but it sounds like a good idea.
For the crowd out there, add your name to the wait list to purchase the book.
Okay, nice. Let's go.